Hey folks, Stronghold Crafter Kev here. Welcome to my channel. And in this video we're going to continue my tutorial series on dungeon tiles. So I'm going to show you how to do intersecting corridors of three kinds. We got the elbow intersection and the T-junction intersection, and also the four-way intersection, or cross intersection, whatever. If you're new to the channel, you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. A lot more things come to the channel. Wouldn't want you to miss out. And if you're a subscriber, thank you. Really appreciate it. For more information on my craft, visit my website, which is strongholdcrafter.com. And if you like this video, appreciate a thumbs up. And I will see you in a bit. Hey folks, welcome back to this tutorial. And we're getting into the corridors, but especially the cornered corridors, or the ones that become intersections. So we're going to go through just a brief outline here. We have the cornered corridor, we have the T-junction, and then we have the four-way cross corridor. I'm going to show you a simple way of assembling those. Alright, if you remember what I was talking about before in the previous video of building blocks of dungeon tiles and how I do this in multiples of 4, let's start out with a simple 4x8, which is a simple corridor here. Now we want to make an elbow junction. That's what I couldn't say before. We just add one 4x4 next to a 4x8. There you go. Now, if you want a T-junction, add another one on that side. T-junction. And one more at the top, and that is a four-way cross intersection. Now you're probably wondering, well, why don't I just take a bigger sheet and just cut out by the corners and excuse me, and just do it like that. I could do it that way, but my problem with that is there's always a chance of having a cutting error, or something doesn't quite cut the square like you want it to. So I could either undercut it or I could overcut it, and then you'll either see a gap and an overcut, or it won't fit properly with other tiles and an undercut. So you know, it's like measure twice and cut once. So just to eliminate that, even though I'm making myself a little bit more work, I cut everything down to the basic pieces, and then whatever I need, I just glue them together. So I highly recommend a strong adhesive for this, and I recommend Loctite Power Grab. That's what I use for this, and we'll go from there. Alright, as in a previous video I mentioned about how after you cut the tiles, you need to file or sand the edges down a little bit to get rid of the angel hair, so they have a better, the paint will stick better to them, and also the adhesive will stick better to them as well. Now, elbow junction. And looks like it's going to fit together pretty good. I always use an extra piece to make sure it looks like it's going to fit together nice and square. And it looks like it's going to. So here's the fun part. You want to put the adhesive on the smaller part. So once you've picked, and make sure the smooth part of your tile is facing up and not down. And of course, everything being white, it's so hard to see in contrast. I just put about that much on there. And then I lay it down into place and gently push the two together. Like so. Now, be very careful that, in this case it did happen, sometimes the adhesive will squirt out just fine. You just have to take a fine toothpick or skewer end or something and very carefully clean that out. Otherwise, it's going to stick to whatever surface it's on. And we don't want that. And that goes for both sides, even the top side. And also press firmly down, make sure it's flat as can be, and then use your other piece here to make sure everything is pressed squarely together. You don't want anything sticking out on one side more than the other. Just like so. And check your edges. Now, that takes care of an elbow junction. Now let's say you want the T-junction. Same thing, just put it on the other side. Okay, in that case I put just enough to where it wasn't squirting out the edges. And T-junction. Now for the four-way cross intersection. With gluing this many together, you just got to make sure that you don't bump anything out of place that you've already set in place, because that could be bad. And let's see how that bottom looks. Not bad. Okay. Now I recommend letting this dry for at least 4 to 8 hours. And if you're wondering, you can always test fit it with some other pieces to make sure that it looks like it's going to fit together okay. There we go, in camera. Ha ha ha. Now if there's a slight little bit of gappage, it won't matter because once it's painted, you won't even see it. Just like so. Alright. Okay, we'll let this adhesive drive and we'll go on the next step. Oh, and one more thing in case you're wondering, why don't I just use Elmer's glue all or some type of other adhesive? And I'll tell you why. Because I've glued stuff with Elmer's glue before, multi-purpose, and it's great for gluing small things together. However, larger pieces, it is so easy to pick something up and apply the slightest pressure and it snaps apart. So I'm not going to do a demo on that, but trust me, you want a stronger adhesive. Okay, and this is how this turned out for the cross way corridor. Yes. 4-way crossway corridor, whatever you'll call it. Okay, slight close up here. Alright. And then we'll go to the T-junction. And that's how this one turned out. Alright. And this is the elbow junction corridor. Now, I let this adhesive dry for a day, so it is very strong and holding before I even did the next step, which I just showed. And I'm just going to refer you to Dungeon Tile video 3, which explains this next step. And we will go on from here to the painting. And while I've been working diligently, I've been supervised here with Jack the Scourge. And he is quite pleased with my progress. And that is all. Okay, and after following the guidelines in Dungeon Tiles video number 5, see how the painting looks on the overall piece of the 4-way cross corridor. And the T-junction intersection, and the elbow crossing corridor. And that about sums it up. Thanks for watching. Bye.